Hey guys, welcome back to another Modern Warfare 2 video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Modern Warfare 2 PC specs. So this is what we're going to be going over in today's video, is talking about what you are going to need on your PC in order to run Modern Warfare 2, and that is campaign, that is multiplayer, and that is special ops. Warzone 2 will be separate. I'll try and make another video about that, but by and large, you could probably count most of these stuff over and consider this the same thing for Warzone 2, but it might be a little bit different, so we'll cross that bridge once Warzone 2 launches in just a couple weeks. So here we go. Call of Duty put out a blog post detailing all of the PC information you want to know about this game, about Modern Warfare 2. We're going to be covering the PC launch and some more information and stuff like that in a separate video, but today's video we're going to be focusing exclusively on the PC system requirements. So here we go. First things first, Activision put out this neat little graphic of it, and that's what we're going to be going over here. So they have four different types of graphics of like play styles, I guess. So there's four different requirements. You have minimum, you have recommended, competitive, and ultra 4K. So minimum is literally the bare minimum in order to open and play the game. Recommended is like, hey, you know, in order to have a decent experience, they say here for minimum is specifications needed to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Recommended is the recommended specs to run at 60 FPS in most situations with all options set to high. Competitive is the competitive specs to run at high FPS for use with a high refresh rate monitor, and Ultra 4K is the ultra specs to run the game at a high FPS in 4K resolution. So there we go. That is what they talk about here. That is what these four different types of specs here mean. And without further ado, let's jump into it and explain to you guys the PC system requirements. So here's what you're going to need to play Modern Warfare 2. So the operating system, they say minimum is Windows 10 64-bit with the latest updates, so you can have Windows 10 and Windows 11, doesn't matter. They say for recommended competitive Ultra 4K, Windows 10 64-bit latest update / Windows 11 64-bit latest update. Okay, it doesn't really matter there, your OS, both of them are super modern, so long as you have at least Windows 10, you'll be able to play Modern Warfare 2. Next up, the CPU. So for the minimum specs, you're going to need bare minimum an Intel Core i3-6100. So that one is honestly, that's a pretty old CPU, as well as an Intel Core i5-2500K. That one is super stinking old, or an AMD Ryzen 3 1200. So that one is first gen Ryzen. So if you have a PC basically within like the last 5 or 6 years, then you'll be able to at least bare minimum be able to play Modern Warfare 2. It's recommended that you have an Intel Core i5-6600K or an i7-4770 or an AMD Ryzen 5 1400 is the recommended. If you want to play competitively, so this is like higher frame rates, they suggest you have an Intel Core i7-8700K or greater, or an AMD Ryzen 1800X. So that's still first gen Ryzen. So any second, third, any other gen Ryzen, like, dude, you're gonna be fine. And then for Ultra, if you want to play at Ultra 4K like max settings, then they recommend an Intel Core i9-9900K or an AMD Ryzen 9 3900X. So once again, still basically anything within the last 3 years, then you're going to be able to play at Ultra 4K. For the RAM, minimum, you're going to need a bare minimum 8 gigabytes of RAM. They recommend 12. And then for competitive and Ultra 4K, they recommend 16. Storage space, they say that minimum / recommended and competitive in Ultra 4K is 72 gigabytes of storage space at launch. The high-res assets cache, they say minimum / recommended and competitive, they say you want to have up to 32 gigabytes of high-res assets cache. And then for Ultra 4K, they say up to 64 gigabytes, so literally double that. They say high-res assets cache is optional disk space that can be used to stream high-resolution assets. This option can be turned off in the game settings. For the video card or GPU, they recommend bare minimum having an NVIDIA GTX 960 or an Radeon RX 470 or better. Recommended is a GTX 1060 or an RX 580. For competitive, so higher frame rates, you're going to want an RTX 3060 Ti or a Radeon RX 5700 XT. And then for Ultra 4K, they recommend an RTX 3080 or an RX 6800 XT. So pretty much, I mean, those GPUs came out, 2 years ago? So if you have this 3rd gen or now with this new 4th gen of RTX, then you can be able to play at Ultra 4K. So it shouldn't be too bad, but obviously if you want to play at like the best frame rates and stuff, you're probably going to want a 40 series card or the new AMD equivalent of it. They say for VRAM, minimum is 2 gigabytes of VRAM, recommended is 4, competitive for higher frame rates is 8, and then for Ultra 4K, you're going to want 10 gigabytes. And then the drivers for it, for NVIDIA is 516.59 and AMD is 22.9.1. So there we go. Lastly, they say that they have a few notes here. They say that the specs are valid for a product at launch and may be updated in the future. All specifications require broadband connection and DirectX 12 compatibility. Additional storage space may be required for mandatory game updates, which is guaranteed with like Warzone 2. That's going to add on some storage space on here as well. They say high-res assets cache is optional disk space that can be used to stream high-resolution assets. The option can only be turned off in the game settings. Only Intel/AMD processors with the AVX instruction set are supported at this time, so no Mac, no Apple M1 or M2. You can't play Modern Warfare 2 with that currently. So there we go. That is it. That is all the PC specs for Modern Warfare 2. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know in the comments down below. We'll try our best to help you guys out here. We've got a great community, so if you guys are wondering if your specific PC will work for Modern Warfare 2, then let us know. Drop a comment down below detailing your specs of your PC, and we'll be able to see if Modern Warfare 2 will work for you on your specific computer. So there you guys go. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and get subscribed to the channel if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.